Not sure about going in there, but I will. As in, not sure it's a good idea, but I'll do it. Dang it, I will do it. No problem. And I kind of want to check the other end there, because there might be a secret there as well. Here. I got 75 fatigue and then lost 75 fatigue. What is that about? I don't think here. Okay. Well, time to see what this is about. Oh, dang you. Dang you. What am that? Just a ladder. Huh? Just a ladder. Impressed that was a glass platform. Yay. So the crises are still about, huh? Hasn't been solved while I was gone. Oh, it's heavy. Oh, so I was under the impression that, oh boy, we're so freaking full. That more weapons is like, you know, rifles included. This binocular mounted on a rigid tripod is pointing south to the central sector of the dome. It's hot in the south and almost everything is drenched in sunlight. The red sands are covered with white spots. The binoculars lens flash with merry flecks of light. Only after you focus do you understand there's nothing merry about the view. There are bright pieces of the spire everywhere on the dunes where it fell during the incident. On the borders of the dunes you see squat buildings. Looks like the roadside picnic cafe is still intact. Almost directly behind it rises the dark, funnel-shaped silhouette of Maelstrom, and through it you can faintly see the ruins of Concord Station. Amazingly, the roadside picnic seems to have prospered since the incident. You see new buildings, a cleared road, movement and lights in the windows. The place is at the very edge of Maelstrom's zone of influence, but neither the residents nor the guests seem to be concerned. When Maelstrom got unleashed, the spire broke down. The cyclopean structure collapsed, partly sliding down the dome to its foot, partly falling inward. Large pieces of the structure litter the sand dunes for miles around. The dark, ominous mass of Maelstrom cloaks the field of view in this direction, but you can occasionally see structures through rare gaps. That's all that's left of Concord Station, partially demolished by the same Maelstrom, partially destroyed by the fallen debris of the spire. You refocus the binocular to capture Maelstrom in the frame. The sight is overwhelming. Slowly, even lazily, it spins, chains of greenish lightning periodically flashing across the surface. What can a man do against such power? Move away. That's what a man can do. You stop near the binocular. The half-erased inscription on the orange case reads Western Sector. The only highway leads west. The hot air rises from the white, shimmering salt marshes, distorting the image. The light stripes, barely visible against the background of white sand, precisely delineate the contours of an object, something too rectangular to be part of the landscape. The C12 Nashville object has to be somewhere there, or rather, what's left of it. Snow is not uncommon to the desert. Polar latitudes and high plateaus have no shortage of frozen water, but the sparkling white spots you see to the west are not snow. Salt marshes cover a significant portion of the sector, instantly disappearing behind the barely visible border shining in the air above. Perhaps there was once an inland salt lake here, maybe the result of some large-scale forefathers experiment. It is unknown. At first, it seems you're looking at a reflection of the salt marsh hanging in the hot air, but the object seems too accurate to be a mirage, too massive and cut out. It's difficult to say what it is. Objects in the west of the dome haven't been thoroughly studied, and plans to explore them have been postponed to the far future. Will people ever get there? Will people ever get there? Will people ever get there? Recalling the route to C12 Nashville, you point the binocular at its ruins. You can't see much from this vantage, but you are able to make out the neighborhood and even the parking lot. Fragments of concrete and rock cover the parking spaces, turrets, security booths, disabled and abandoned trucks are all crumpled, torn to shreds, scattered on the asphalt, which is beginning to grow over. There are abandoned cars and minivans outside the parking and cargo area, and along the road leading to Nashville base end of sentence. Looks like curiosity brought a lot of people there after the incident and destroyed them. However, in addition to the object destroyed by Maelstrom and abandoned, you spy some other points of interest. Judging by the worn-out pads on the eyepieces, the stationary binocular pointing to the north of the dome is quite popular. The observation platform is located in the northern sector. Its borders, as well as closer objects, are clearly visible through the binocular. Judging from the complex road junction nearby, there was once a major settlement there. Behind the ruins, a smooth, long arc rises from the sand. It doesn't look like a creation of human hands. A couple of years ago, you would have seen scurrying workers, asphalt pavers, and road rollers. The junction would have been part of the newly developed infrastructure of the northern sector, but now the spire has collapsed and distributes no cargo. No one needs a modern city with a cargo terminal, storage facilities, and wide roads in these parts anymore. Oh, these are all, yeah, this is a list. At first, you think it looks like a small mountain range. The regular squat dune emerges from the sand and stretches along the horizon, sometimes hiding behind cliffs and hills. But after refocusing the binoculars, you can see the structure on the surface. Fragments repeating in a strange but perceptible pattern are either an object or construction details. Somewhere in the sands of the northern sector, far beyond the arc overlooking the dunes, you can see the border of the dome. Its glimmering is barely visible behind the shimmering of the warm air, but you know for certain it is there, and it will never let you out. Gulp, we're so full. The binocular points east, its lens is shaded by a visor, shimmer blue and yellow. The east abounds in signs of civilization. You can see almost intact roads, are rare trade caravans, and buildings piled into settlements. Closer to the north of the sector is a complex of large, squat buildings surrounded by a slum belt. If memory serves, the Magellan bunker is hidden somewhere there, underground. Of course, it would be great if you could see the underground bunker from the observation platform, but alas, the modern binocular doesn't yet have the capability. You have to rely on imagination, visual memory, and old maps. However, you do manage to get a glimpse of a small parking lot surrounded by a concrete fence. At the far end of the site, you can see a stocky building with airtight doors. This must be Magellan. This is definitely a city. The buildings look strictly functional and are crowded close together. Any kind of aesthetic has been sacrificed for durability, although the dome has its own standards. The barracks and hut zone on the outskirts of the city looks quite typical. You see crudely fashioned construction materials, smoke from open fires, some rags failing on the wind. All this is separated from the central settlement by a high wall and a sturdy gate. Oh, okay, that's acceptable. What if I do this? Doesn't seem to affect our weight distribution if I wear or carry things. I want a backpack. And a belt. I want a belt pack. Okay, anyway. Did what we needed to do. Okay, then I guess time to get into the car. Dang, I hope we can use this trunk. Wouldn't that be just real neat? You lean closer to the radio embedded in the car's console. The emergency message is now coming through louder, but not any clearer. However, you could try to adjust the frequency. Rotate the turning knob. You rotate the controller. The emergency message is now coming through loud and clear. The radio chitters. Attention! This is not a drill. In the area affected by the Maelstrom megalo anomaly, scenario 6C is currently taking place. Remaining in the yellow sector is prohibited. Employees currently deployed to the danger zone must leave the area immediately following standard evacuation protocol. The announcer's voice is briefly replaced with static, then resumes. All new community citizens are encouraged to seek asylum. The city is far enough from the yellow sector to be considered safe under current conditions. A distant wailing of emergency sirens can be heard through the speakers. The announcer keeps talking. Don't panic. As scientists and security specialists are closely monitoring the Maelstrom phenomenon. Any registered movement of Psi-fronts will be closely monitored. We urge you not to spread false rumors about victims among the population. Maintain confidence in our new committee authorities. The problem will be solved as soon as is feasible. Attention, this is not a drill. The message begins again. The speakers fall silent for a moment, then begin to crackle and scurry with double force. The text of the announcement is still barely audible in parts. Oh. Well, I guess we walk.
You wander through the desert and suddenly fall, fainting for a moment. A quiet hum, like that of a huge bell, fills your head. The space around you is again hidden behind waves of fog. But now it's different. This even white haze conceals everything unnecessary, highlighting the important. In the northeast, a flickering column of blue light can be seen, beating straight up through the clouds, like the beam of a huge lighthouse directed into the sky. Without taking your eyes off the beam, you struggle to get up. Each step requires great effort, and your head...
No! Why? Kitten, why? Can you read it again, please? And now you're gonna sneeze in my face, aren't you? Oh, baby. Without taking your eyes off the beam, you struggle to get up. Each step requires great effort, and your head is splitting. These are not the effects of sunstroke, and what you're seeing is no mirage. This is something else. Something is happening inside your head. Improvise or gather strength. Medical knowledge is not great, so I'm gonna try 4.
Scanning the ground nearby, you find a small, dusty plant with fleshy leaves. You saw something like this in Scout Messenger in '73. According to a magazine article, the juice of this plant helps relieve dizziness and pain. You chew a couple of leaves, and you really do feel better. The headache and hum soon pass. All that remains is a slowly dissipating fog and the blue glow fading away in the distance. You've seen this fading glow before, but from a different angle. The explosion that flashed through the clouds pushed apart by Maelstrom. This strange beam of light is what remains. It must mean something. Maybe there to the northeast is where your path now lies.
Zelda. Kitten. We don't tap on the keys on the keyboard or the computer, you know that. You task out, Zelda. How? No. Be nice. Be nice. Oh no! The forest is unexpectedly humid and the tree is closely placed for conditions under the dome. An indistinct noise leads you to a large clearing not too far off. You glimpse some figures in the gaps between the trees watching you. You bring the binoculars up to your eyes. For a while you stare at the rare branches of desert trees, aiming for the right spot. Creatures only vaguely resembling humans are wandering chaotically about, staggering and limping with every step. It seems you have crossed paths with some necroids. You turn aside and continue on your way. Judging by the fact that no one is chasing you, you manage to go unnoticed. Really hoping we can sell a bunch of shit here. Was that person naked? Phew, okay, no. Icon. Old Melville hasn't changed a bit. Same dirty jumpsuit, slightly foolish expression, and strangely squinting eyes. Even the computer Aaron used to play chess with is the same. The plastic case is yellowed somewhat, but the machine still works. Rack wins. The speaker croaks as you walk up to the table. Melville raises his eye. Why can't you stay at home? Why are you goofing around, bothering people? He stops short and drops his eyes, then he smiles. Is that you, sweetheart? Long time no see. How many years raced by? 2? Yeah, I think that's right. I've got a good memory for numbers. Ah, you got some memory there, kid. He waved it off. No, I didn't. I mean, as I said, he quit and did a runner quietly. People these days, seriously. Let me want something to eat and drink. The old man leans on the counter. Suit yourself, sweetheart. My granddaughter does the cooking now, so the grub's quite edible. We got booze too. Okay, I'm just south.